On today's episode of the Freelance Marketing Ninja Show, we're going to talk about not doing what I did when I got started. Yeah, we're going to talk about how you can avoid some of the same mistakes that I made when I was a new freelance marketer. You ready for that? You better be, because the Freelance Marketing Ninja Show is starting right now. Welcome to the Freelance Marketing Ninja Show. My name is Eric Stephenson. I am your host today and every day that we have a Freelance Marketing Ninja Show, which is every day. And today is the 45th day in a row that we've done that, because it's episode number 45. That's right, 45 days in a row. The goal is 365. Can we make it? Should we start taking bets? Should we put a pool out there? A betting pool? ah, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm committed to doing it, but that's 365 days. That I will celebrate if we really can make it that. If I can make it that far, that many days in a row without an interruption, I promise. We'll have a celebration. Anyway, so today's topic is don't do what I did, right? The purpose of the Freelance Marketing Ninja Show is really to help people who are interested in freelance or affiliate marketing or just new to it. Though that's really kind of the core people I want to help. And by one of the things I can do to help you with that is talk about some of the mistakes that I've made in the past and how you can avoid those same mistakes, right? So that's what we're going to do today. And really, in order to make the right case for how we're going to do that, we need to start with the beginner tip of the day. So we're not going to save it till the end. B. Todd starts right now. That's right. That's the beginner tip of the day. This is tips especially for people who are brand new, who might be feeling frustrated, overwhelmed, confused with all of the information they have to absorb as a brand new freelance marketer, right? And today's tip has to do with being aware of how you're being aware of your mental state, especially when you are thinking about your business or working on your business. And if you are feeling frustrated, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling confused, you're feeling negative emotions, you're feeling the stress in your shoulders and in your neck as you think about that you've got all this stuff to learn and you wanted to get results really fast. And yeah, I think that sense of anxiety that sometimes you might be feeling when you're brand new to this, especially if you've invested a little money to get started. So what you need to do is be aware of that mental state when you feel it. And you've got to be able to calm down, right? You've got to be able to bring yourself back to a place where you are centered, right? If you're overly enthusiastic, that's almost just as bad. You have to be at a place where you're centered, but particularly where you're feeling frustrated and anxious, overwhelmed, all of these negative emotions. What's happening is that your brain is coming from a place where you are working in your limbic brain, the amygdala. And the amygdala has two purposes, right? Your amygdala has two purposes. It's to decide, can I eat that? Or is that thing going to eat me? It's basically just gut instinct and reacting on instinct. And there are times when that is appropriate, it's helpful. You can solve problems because your back is against the wall and you need to solve a problem. You have a deadline and you get stuff done, right? But in the long run, you are going to learn more, be more effective if you're coming from a place of being centered, right? And to illustrate this, there was a study done, I don't know when, probably back in the 60s. And the study is discussed inside of Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. I'm still listening to that audiobook right now. And the study was done on rats, right? Well, there were two groups of rats. The first group was starved before they were allowed to roam the maze. The second group was fed before they were allowed to roam the maze. And of course, the reward for completing the maze was food. So um, the rats who were feeling stressed were starving, and both groups initially were actually able to get through the maze and successfully get the reward, which is the food, right? Well, then the researchers decided to change a variable, right? They decided to block the main path to actually solving the maze, and they decided this time to make the second group hungry and starving and stressed. And what they found is only the second group of rats were able to, even under pressure, find their way through the maze and find the solution. The first group of rats, because they had only ever solved it under duress and pressure, weren't able to access anything else, any other problem solving capabilities that rats might have. And I didn't know they had a lot, but apparently they can find their way around a maze, right? So, humans, it's kind of the same thing. When you are feeling that stress, you're feeling that pressure, and you're dealing with it all the time, it's not effective. You do need to find a way to come back to center. So, I've described one method that I've used in the past in a previous edition. I'll go back through the archives, figure out which number, and I'll list it in the comments a little bit later. Um, but the big thing you've got to be able to do is just relax and calm down. Give yourself 10 minutes to really, kind of come back and reapproach it after you've relaxed. So that's kind of a long beginner tip of the day, isn't it? Anyways, so the reason I did that first is that when I was brand new, I was actually over eager. I was over enthusiastic about digital marketing. And you can probably tell I'm still fairly enthusiastic about it. I really love talking about it, which is a prerequisite for doing a show like this. You kind of have to like the stuff you're doing. And I wanted to get results as fast as possible. I wanted to just get that first sale because I knew if I got that first sale, it would lead to another sale and I'd be a millionaire sooner than you could blink your eye and say, Bob's your uncle. Well, I did, and I got some sales within those first few months, right? But I was so overeager that I thought, well, I could just throw money at the problem. I can throw money into the ads to solve that problem. And what you're doing, if your ads aren't quite optimized yet, is you're throwing your money away if you're doing that. All of your initial testing should really be done at small budgets until you get to the point where the ads are optimized and proven, and then that's when you throw the money at it and scale, and it becomes, that's when you have a barista that's becoming a millionaire within a matter of months, right? Some of you might know that story. Anyhow, so what's really important before you throw a bunch of money, before you're trying to scale, is that you master the fundamentals. And let's talk about what some of those fundamentals are. Right? So the fundamentals. Very first thing before you launch an ad, before you build a landing page, before you write emails, you have to have a intimate understanding of your audience, right? And how do you do that? Well, market research. Market research. Go out and talk to people. Maybe talk to people who are your ideal customer, or you think that are trying to solve the problem that you're trying to solve. Talk to them on social media. Go visit groups that they might be in. Um, join email lists that other marketers are targeting those people, and try to really understand, try to get inside their heads, try to understand the demographics of these people. And there's a lot of tools that you can even use in Facebook audiences. There's inside of Google. There's ways that you can research this. Really critical is to understand, what are they trying to run away from? What's their pain points, and why is it so painful? The more that you can articulate this, and the better you understand this, the better everything in your marketing is going to be. Also understand what they're running towards. What's the benefits they're trying to get with a potential solution that you might be proposing? How will they feel when they've solved their problem? What else in their life is better or different because they solved that problem that your product solves? The better you can articulate that, the better everything else in your marketing is going to be, right? So once you have that, then you can start to create a kick-ass ad. And I'm talking about this from the perspective of Facebook ads, but it probably applies to just pretty much anywhere that you can create advertising or buy advertising, or even create organic content or posts that function as an ad for you, right? Um, Hugely important. It has to grab attention. Marketing is a game of attention, and we live in a attention economy where most people are distracted. And if you don't capture their attention within 2-3 seconds, you probably lost it. So you got to grab their attention, and you have to make sure that you don't look like everybody else that's doing what you do, right? So you don't want to use the same hooks, the same ways of getting attention as all of your competitors. Probably helpful to know what your competitors are doing, right? You want to differentiate yourself and stand out from the competition, so that you're really not competing against them, that you are competing on your own brand and your own unique UNIS. Targeting has to be relevant. This goes back to understanding your audience, trying to really narrow down who you're after, both to the targeting, but also in your copy, right? Inside of the ad needs to be appropriate for the age groups that you're targeting, for the type of person you're targeting, their level of awareness of your solution, and the level of awareness of their problem. So that has to be relevant. You have to have persuasive sales copy. So this is all of the words in the ad that describe their pain, what they're trying to run away from, their problem, the solution to the problem. All of that has to be persuasive. It's got to make the case, uh, first of all, emotionally, and second of all, probably logically too, because people buy based on emotion, and they justify their decisions with logic. And if you're doing it on Facebook, it also has to be compliant with uh, Facebook's policies, right? Which we talked about a little bit about that yesterday. You have to have a clear call to action. People need to understand exactly what they need to do in order to take the next step, right? And that's all you're focusing on in the ad, is really just selling that next step. You're not necessarily selling your whole solution. You're selling what the next step they need to take is. And of course, you can improve your ads with a process called split testing, where you run half your traffic to one version of the ad, half your traffic to another version of the ad, or multiple iterations, right? Where you're testing and changing just one variable to find out what the best version of that ad is. And that applies to your headline, your images, videos, sales copy, all of that. You need to find really what works best, trying different iterations or variations of that. So all of that goes into creating a kick-ass ad, and getting this all right before you start putting money in is something I wish I had done because I started throwing money away because I didn't do this first. Create a kick-ass landing page, and you might look at, wow, that looks a lot like doing the same things you needed to do to create a kick-ass ad. A landing page is a little bit different than an ad, but the fundamentals are basically the same. You've got to capture people's attention. You've got to present benefits that matter to them, that really are what they're trying to run towards. And you don't want to look like everybody else. Got to have persuasive copy, a clear call to action. What do they need to do next? Probably opt into your email list, and it has to be easy to take that next step. And this is also something that you can split test different versions to figure out what works best, especially after you've optimized your ad, right? People are going to be psychologically in a certain place, so that the what works best for that landing page, it's you're going to need multiple iterations as well. So you obviously need to have a proven offer. With affiliate marketing, that's just kind of a cornerstone, right? You don't choose a brand new offer as an affiliate. Choose one that's already proven to sell. And if you do that, that's going to take care of itself. But there are a couple of things that you need to do well in order for this still to convert to sales, right? Your audience has to be relevant. So if you took care of the targeting beforehand, and you've really spoken to the audience correctly, you're going to set them up for success better with your offer. And you want to make sure they're at the right awareness level for where the offer presents, right? So if if you're selling services that help people sell Facebook ads, or learn how to do Facebook ads, but they don't know that they need to do Facebook ads. They're still here trying to figure out, they're in an earlier stage trying to figure out, should they do affiliate marketing or do drop shipping or do Amazon FBA, or, some of the other side hustles out there. Should they have vending machines out there? And if they're buying vending machines, they probably don't need to do Facebook ads. So make sure that that awareness level is right for whatever your offer is. And then your email follow-up. And guess what? That email follow-up, the fundamentals look pretty much the same as they do for ads and landing pages. You still got to grab people's attention with subject lines and good hooks at the beginning. You want to make yourself look not like your competition, and you need that persuasive sales copy, clear call to action, make it really easy to take the next step. So the fundamentals are pretty much the same no matter what you're developing, but really get good at those, and then and only then do you start throwing more money at it. And that's going to save you so many headaches over the long run and save you a lot of money as well. So hopefully you got some value out of that today. If so, drop a comment below. Let me know if it was helpful for you. And let me know what else you might like to know about. What else do you want to learn from the Freelance Marketing Ninja Show? I'm scratching my head a lot of days thinking, what am I going to talk about today? And then as soon as I start talking, next thing you know, it's 20 minutes in. It's funny how that works. It's just getting that idea right to begin with. So hopefully you enjoyed today's show. My name's Eric Stephenson. I'm signing off, and I'll catch you hopefully tomorrow.